So this is the debate for county chair, Volusia County chair. The participants are Carl Persis of Ormond Beach and Jason Davis of Edgewater. Mr. Persis, you can go first. Would you please give us a 1-minute introduction on who you are, please?
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Carl Persis. It's great to be back in Oak Hill. I should say I was the principal at Burns Oak Hill Elementary School from 1984 to 1989. So it did my heart good driving down the highway once again to be here. I recently retired from the school system. I was a principal for 28 years and retired at the end of November. I have been an elected official for 14 years. I recently retired from that about two months ago, though. I was a mayor and city commissioner in Ormond Beach for 7 years, and I was a member of the Volusia County Council for the past 7.5 years. I decided about 5 years ago that I wanted to run for the county chair, and I have been preparing myself ever since that time to be a good candidate and be ready to hit the ground running in January 2013.
Thank you. Excellent. Mr. Davis, please. 2 minutes.
Well, my name is Jason Davis. I've been a citizen here in Volusia County for over the past 10 years. I'm a Gulf War veteran. I received the Bronze Star for Valor from the United States Army for that conflict. My AA degree is in music and education. I've owned a small business, a computer store in Altamont Springs, and managed over 20 people who came here and worked for the Bright House Networks to bring broadband. Currently, I am the executive producer at WSBB Radio, New Smyrna Beach, and I am the host of Sunday Morning with the Boston Pops every Sunday morning at 7:05, and you do get it down here, so tune in for that. And I've been working on this campaign, of course, for the past 5-6 years, and I believe that I can bring in a great new perspective and new leadership here at our county council.
Thank you very much. All right, the first question will go to you, Mr. Davis. What would be your top priority if elected, and please be specific?
Our top priority here in Volusia County is we've got $290 million in our debt, and we've got to reduce that. And to do this, this is just one of the many priorities we have. We've got to get that down. We've got to start working on that by basically saying no more land acquisitions. That's a good start, folks, because every time we buy land, it costs us money. We've got to build something on it. We have to maintain it, insure it. Everything keeps going, and that money keeps going up and up and up. So that's one big way that we're going to start reducing our county debt here. If I may, how much more time do I have?
You have another minute. Go ahead.
Another thing we have is we are now currently the second highest tax county in the state of Florida. We've got to do something to reduce our taxes. This is killing the economy because when businesses look around, they say, we want to come down here, but the taxes are so high just to start a business and to operate it with the property and everything we need to do. They don't come here. They go to Brevard County, or they go to Seminole County, they go to Lake, they go everywhere else, but right here in Volusia County. So we've got to reduce our tax base.
Thank you. Mr. Persis, what would be your top priority if elected as county chair?
Well, if I may, just to correct Jason here a little bit. First of all, on the debt, of all that debt, it's really just about 5% of that debt is probably paid for through your property taxes. All that other debt is paid for the users of the service, if you will. So whether it's a parking garage, is paid for the people that use the parking garage. If it is through the capital outlay that we use to expand the water plant, it's paid for by the users who are paying for that water. So there are a lot of good reasons to have debt. To expand your business, you have to borrow money, and then you pay for it through that income. This debt that we are talking about, while this seems like a large number, it's broken up into about 12 different categories. And the other issue, as far as my top priorities would go, as I've said previously, first of all, we are certainly wanting to expand and help our existing businesses grow. And we are also, I also think a high priority has to be fire and rescue services. We have to find ways to make those services much more efficient, which will save taxpayers money. And the third priority would be our whole transportation system. We are backed up. Our 20-year road plan, what used to be a 5-year road plan is now turned into a 20-year road plan. So we need to all get together countywide and decide how we're going to do a better job in funding transportation.
Mr. President,
Sure.
would you be able to tell me if some of that debt includes things like the bonding for like the Ocean Center or other projects?
Of the debt well, of course, the Ocean Center would be one, of course, yes.
So those bonding projects make it, it's not as bad as what it sounds, right?
Well, what I'm saying, you have water and sewer revenue bonds, you have the parking garage, you have the airport system, you have gas tax bonds, capital improvement bonds, sales tax bonds, courthouse, library.
Got it.
I mean, it's
Okay,
a
thank you.
long list. Yes, sir.
I'll start with you, Mr. Persis. It's a two-part question. Were you surprised by the primary results? And it seems the media seemed to focus more on Persis Doran than on your opponent. What do you say about both of those?
I was not surprised by the primary results, and yes, there was a lot of attention with the Persis Doran thing, but that's because there was a lot of money generated from those sides, and for some reason that got the news journals' attention and general media. However, we have been together in forums, probably I think 15, I lost track how many, and I sort of sensed that this is how it would end up. I thought I'd get the most votes. I thought Mr. Davis would get the second most votes, and I thought Mr. Doran would get the third most votes.
Mr. Davis, your response to the primary results. Are you surprised that the media put so much focus on the heavyweight candidates with the money?
Oh, no. It was, here I am, I'm the newcomer. I'm the new guy on the block, just the radio producer from down the road and the Gulf War veteran. Of course, Mr. Persis and Mr. Duran have been very well known throughout our community. So that it was not a big surprise to me that they were focusing more on them. Now, as far as the results of the primary, no, we actually did some of our own independent polling. We actually had people standing outside of Walmart and in front of Winn-Dixie's and talking to people and saying, hey, here's a list of the candidates, who are you going to vote for? And it wasn't just our race, it was a couple other races. And our numbers were very, very close to what the actual primary produced. So, no, I was not surprised.
Okay, tonight's the start of the Democratic National Convention. We just concluded with the Republican Convention and all the stuff at Clint Eastwood, et cetera. Carl.
The empty chair.
Yes, plenty of empty chairs there. Carl, you're a registered Democrat. Who do you think should be the next president of the United States and why? It's a debate. It's the head of the ticket.
Well, I think the next president of the United States should be Barack Obama.
And why?
And why? Because I think Barack Obama really cares about the middle class. And as a school principal, those are the people that send their kids mainly to public school. And I see all the economic struggles that the families are happening. I would probably personally benefit more if Mitt Romney was elected, personally. My family would probably personally benefit more. But you asked me, who do I think would be a better president? And that's who I think would be a better president.
Mr. Davis, I think it's been clearly made that this is a nonpartisan race for county chair, but even Mr. Persis put out an email a week or so ago where he not chastised, but encouraged his colleagues to get the ball rolling and be more organized.
Right.
Would you say that you have an advantage with Mitt Romney coming off the convention, or do you think it'd leave it out with Barack Obama? I think you said that you're a Mitt Romney supporter.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I definitely support Mitt Romney.
Is it just party affiliation, or is there more to it?
No. There's a couple of things that he's done that I wasn't too happy about. You know, they did this healthcare thing up in Massachusetts. It did not please me. But, you know, what we're looking at right now is, let's just look at what's going on. We've got an economy which is tanked. My mother has lost, you know, $70,000 in the stock market because it never recovered. You know, I have friends who've lost their jobs, and we've got you know, our commander-in-chief up there who's saying we're going to cut back on the military. And me personally, you know, I would probably benefit much more if Mitt Romney was president, because our current president pushed back the bill to where, you know, I'm a veteran and I get a disability pension. And I did not get a raise for over 4 years, but I can guarantee you that everybody else did, you know, on that high level. I do like his economic programs, I like his economic ideas and his plan to bring some jobs into the country, and that's, you know, this is definitely the way we want to go, more positive.
Mr. Persis, there's been some criticism about the way in which the county has handled the scandal with the advertising authority in Southeast Volusia. You yourself made a statement at the last debate, I think with Cindy Jones and Lisa Martin Beach, about what your take is on it. Could you repeat that for us?
Well, I can't remember exactly what I said back then, but if you ask
Well, it was
me,
Nicole Carty and-
a fresh question there was, we had never run into any executive director for an advertising authority like Nicole Carney. And, you know, I think I said, to be quite honest with you, she was a thief.
Right.
You know, generally, when you have vetting of the candidates and their qualifications, and you check their references and so forth and so on, you know, she was the one that was hired by that board. We have all learned something from that. We've all learned something from reviewing very carefully the qualifications, not just of the executive director, but people that serve on those boards. There is a level of sophistication now that we understand that is necessary, because even the Southeast Advertising Board, you know, has a budget in the millions of dollars, and it takes people who are going to be up to speed on that and watch how that money is being spent. So I think once we discovered through our auditing processes that, wait, some things just don't seem right here, and we checked it out, and we immediately took action. And now I think we are down to, I think, the final 2 or 3 finalists for a new executive director for the
And
Southeast.
if I could just follow with you, and then I'll get to Mr. Davis.